Hello, welcome to this lesson. This is the first lesson of this course, so you need to pay rapt attention to every detail of this lesson. Okay, in this lesson I'm going to be introducing you to the basic things that you have to know about website development and blogging. So most of the things we are going to be discussing are going to be the introductory part, and you have to pay attention to every details of this lesson so that in the subsequent videos, when I begin to mention some things, they will not be strange to you. Now let us start from the definition of a website. What exactly is a website? A website is a set of related web pages located under a single domain name, typically produced by a single person or an organization. So what do we mean by a website? A website is a collection of web pages. That simply means that we have different web pages, and the collection of these web pages is what we call a website. Now, how do we locate our website? A website is located under a domain name. So the two things we have to take note here is the web page and the domain name. So the web pages make up our website, and the domain name is the address. Now let me give you a typical example of this. Now if I go to my browser right here, this is a website created by me actually. Now this is the home page of this website. Now listen, I said home page. This is home page. Now this is a page. This is a page. Now if I scroll up and click on admission procedure, for instance, you can see this is another page on this website. Now when we bring all these pages together, they form a website. So a website is a collective noun that we use to represent web pages. Okay, this is a page on the website, and if I go now to student interaction, for instance, this is another page on this website. So a website is like a complete book. Then we have pages in that book. So the collection of those pages is what we refer to as book. So the collection of web pages is what we refer to as a website. Now we said a website is a location on the World Wide Web, okay, on the internet. Now how do we locate this website? The address to our website is what we call a domain name. You might have been hearing of something like www.something.something. For instance, the domain name to this website is www.edopoly.edu.ng. So whenever I type www.edopoly.edu.ng on my browser URL bar, of course it is going to land me on this particular website. So if you want to create a website, there must be an address to that website. So when you want to visit the website, it is the address that you type, and that address is called a domain name. So a website is like a location on the internet, but how do you know the location that you are going exactly? It's just like when you build a house, for instance, you must have an address to that house and say number 3 so place. Okay, so the same thing is applicable to a website. When you have a website, that website must have an address that is pointing to it. So that address that is pointing to it is what we call a domain name. Okay, so let's go back to our tutorial. So we have explained what a web page is, what a website is, and what a domain name is. I'm still going to visit a domain name later on in this course. So for now, I hope you understand what a domain name is. Then we said typically produced by a single person or an organization. That means as a person, you can have a website, or as an organization or a business, you can also have a website. So by now you should know that as an individual, it is possible for you to have a website or a blog of your own. All right, so let's move to the next page. So what is the difference between a blog and a website? Blogs are a type of website. We have defined a website to be a collection of web pages that is located on the internet. A blog also is a collection of web pages. So a blog is also a type of website. Just like you have e-commerce website like Jumia, you have social media website like Facebook. All those are websites, but they have their differences. It's just like you have different types of house. Okay, we have bungalow, we have duplex, we have downstairs, upstairs. The same thing is applicable to a website. So a blog is also a website. Now, what is the major uniqueness of a blog? Now, let me show you right here, because this is also a website, but this is a school website, but we cannot call this one a blog, just the way we cannot call it an e-commerce website, because we are not selling anything here. Okay, but what is the uniqueness of a blog? Now, if I visit this blog right here, okay, so let me go back to our context here. We said the only difference is that blogs have frequently updated content, and websites tend to be much more static and is organized into pages. A blog can be a website on its own or a part of a bigger site. Early iteration of blogs were once used mostly for online personal journal. So a blog is just like an online newspaper, okay, a journal. Now, we said that a blog is frequently updated. So you might have seen some blogs online that deal with daily news. That simply means that every blessed day they have to post content, they have to post news. Unlike a normal website like enterprise website or a school website, since I developed this website for about 2 months, I've not updated this website, because once the website is developed, the content remain. Everything that has to do with admission remains the same. Everything about the school remains the same. Unlike a blog where you need to be updating your audience on a daily basis. Okay, so in summary, a blog is also a website, only that a blog is frequently updated, just like newspaper or a journal. Because a newspaper, you expect a newspaper to have daily content, daily news. Okay, so let's take a blog to be an electronic version of newspaper. Okay, I hope you understand that. All right, so let's go back to our slide. The next thing is, what is a web page? A web page is a document commonly written in HTML that is viewed in an internet browser. A web page can be accessed by entering a URL address into a browser's address bar. Now, where the confusion may come up now is URL and domain name, because earlier on we said a website is a collection of web pages and it is located and accessible through a domain name. Now, this slide is telling us that a web page is located under a URL, while the website is located under a domain name. Now, let me clarify that. Now, if I come to the home page of this school website, of course, what I'm going to be seeing here is edopoli.edu.ng. This is the entire website. This address is directing me to the entire website. Now, on this website, I click on school fees breakdown, for instance. Of course, when I now check my URL bar here, I'm not going to see only the domain name to the website anymore. Then I'm going to see slash something something, okay, according to the page. Now I'm seeing fees breakdown for admitted students, okay. So I'm seeing www.edopoly.edu.ng slash, okay. After .ng, what comes after the domain name makes it to be URL. So the domain name is www.edopoly.edu.ng. Now we now have extensions slash something at the front. So after your domain name you have slash something, then your domain name becomes a URL. The full meaning of URL is Uniform Resource Locator. So it is pointing not to the entire website, it is pointing to a page or a web content, okay. It may be pointing to a video, just like when you go on Facebook sometimes and you see a video, you want to share your video. If you check it, you are going to see facebook.com/title of that video. So that makes it a URL, Uniform Resource Locator, that is locating a resource on that website. Okay, I hope that is understood. Then let's move forward. Now let's talk about anatomy of a web page. Now we know what a web page is. We know that it is a page on the website. Now, how are these pages constructed? That is what we need to understand now, because when you are creating a web page, you need to understand how it is structured. It is just like when you want to build a house, you must have a plan of your house. You must know where the kitchen will be, where the parlor will be, where the bedroom will be, and all those. So it must have a structure. We can liken the website also to the construction of the house. It must have a structure. So every website that you see online, their pages must have structure. Now, what are the things that we must have on a web page? Of course, we have page header, we have main navigation, we have secondary navigation, we have page title, breadcrumb trail, hero image or banner images, we have main content, we have sidebar, which is a collection of widgets, and then we have footer. Now practically, let me go online and show you each of these parts of the website. So what we mean by anatomy of a web page is the parts that makes up our web page. Now we have header, main navigation. Let me show you it to you. Here now you can see this website is in sections. You can see this part at the top. This is having a link here. Okay, it is not the main navigation bar. This is the main navigation bar. Okay, where you have link that you can click to go to another page. That part that is having the link is called navigation bar. Now from this part to this part at the top is called the header, the head section of the website. Now on the header section, now you will have your logo, you can have your contact information, you can have your navigation bar in the header part of the website. Now we can see home pointing to fees breakdown for admitted students. So this is what is called breadcrumb. So in most web pages, you are going to be seeing breadcrumb, because breadcrumb is the one telling you your location on the website at a particular time. So now you can see home to fees breakdown for admitted students. It's telling me that this page is for fees breakdown for admitted students. So if I click on student interaction, for instance, of course, you can see that my breadcrumb will change to home to student interaction. So that is the importance of breadcrumb. Now, let me check what is next for us. We have secondary navigation. I've told you what is navigation bar. Then page title, breadcrumb, hero image, main content, sidebar, and footer. Okay, so we have page title. but most of the time, in some cases, you may not have page title because you already have your breadcrumb, and your breadcrumb is the home to the page title. So you can see student interaction is the title of the page. Okay, so sometimes you may remove the page title. Okay, now let me go to this blog. I think I will be able to explain it better here. So now if you look at this blog, we also have the same format here. We have the navigation bar, we have the header section where we have Ola Phillips blog, learning website development. Then we have the main body of the website. Okay, so we have the main content here. You can see the main content here. Then by the right hand side we have sidebar. Okay, so we have sidebar. The sidebar is not changing, but the main content can be changing. So now if I click on this post, all right, so you can see the main body of this website has changed, but I still have my sidebar there. Now on the sidebar we have widgets. So the sidebar is a collection of widgets. So on the sidebar you can see search here. So this search is a widget, and latest post is also a widget. Then category is also a widget. Now if you don't understand this deeply now, by the time we move further in this course, we are going to be using this widget, okay, so that we understand it better. Now so we have widget and we have the main content here. Now if you go down, we will see the footer part of the website. Okay, so most of the websites that you visit, you will be seeing this structure. Okay, you can see that the footer is quite different from the main page. Okay, so the footer is black. You can see the main page, the main side of this website is white, and the sidebar also is somehow demarcated. You can see it. So the web page is well sectioned, and that is what we call anatomy of a web page. Now the web page also have web content, and the web content is on the main body of the website. Okay, so you can see that this is the post on this website. So if anybody wants to come to this blog to come and read news, this is the main news. So on the main body of the website you have your content. So we have different types of web content. You can have image, as you can see. You can have text, as you can see. I may decide to add video to this page. So video is also a web content. So whatever and however you can pass information to people online, whatever you are uploading becomes your web content. All right, so let's move further. Okay, so these are your web content. We have the text, the images, the sound, we have the video, and we have animation, because sometimes you may just go online and download some songs online in form of MP3, and you can download videos also. Then website development tools. We have people that we call full stack programmer that develop website from scratch using HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, MySQL, JavaScript, and code editor. Okay, and so on. We have different types of programming languages. When you search online, you will see them online. Now you can see that I'm giving this content management system another color, because that is what we are focusing on in this course. Okay, so what does content management system do for us? It helps us to develop a website or a blog without writing code. So if you are a full stack programmer, of course you will be writing code in any language of your choice. But if you are going to develop your website using content management system, you are not going to write any code at all. Now, the beautiful part of this is that we have so many software online that are content management system, because this content management system is a software that are developed by programmers but are open source. Open source means they are free for you to use. Now let's go online. So I've searched here list of CMS software. So you can see there are many here. We have Joomla, we have Wiz.com. I know you might have heard of Wiz.com before. Okay, so any software online that allows you to create a website without writing code is called content management system. Now you can see WordPress is the first on the list. Okay, so WordPress is a content management system, is an already made software that you can use to create a website, and that is what we are going to be using in this course. So in this course you are not going to write any code at all, and this is the blog right here that you are going to be creating in this course. Okay, now let's move further. Lastly, what is the difference between back end, dashboard and front end? Now the simple difference, I will explain back end, but you may not understand it deeply because our focus is on dashboard and front end, but I will explain. Now for people that write code, that are full stack programmer, where they write their code is what we call back end. Now for us that wants to use content management system, our major focus is our dashboard. That is where we control the function of our website. So let me show it to you here. Now this is a blog. If I want to remove anything or add anything to this blog, where do I go? I need to go to my dashboard. Okay, so here I'm not writing any code. I just need to click one or two things and I will see the changes here. So this place that everybody will be seeing is what we call front end, and where I make changes to this front end is what we call dashboard. So in content management software, we have the dashboard and we have the front end. Okay, so the front end is for your audience to see your content and engage with your content, but your dashboard is where you manage your blog. I hope that is understood. So in the next lesson, I'm going to explain further on domain name and hosting plan. So I'm going to review to you how you can buy your domain name and how you can buy your hosting plan, because this blog actually, the domain name is the address, but where is the house? So the house that is carrying the address is the hosting plan, and that is where you are going to upload your blog or your website. So in the next lesson, I'm going to take care of that, and I will advise that you keep your motivation and make sure you take this course to the very end. All right, I will see you in my next lesson. Thank you.